My name is Mike Antzoulis. I'm a drum set and percussion instructor here at Vanguard, and I'm also a full-time student.
Yeah.
What I look forward to in my career as a teacher is kind of watching a community of musicians arise, because like local music communities are really cool.
Yeah.
They're really cool when they stay around, when there's generations of them. I think that there's like a whole generation of young kids coming up now, which will make our music either in the Jersey scene or in the big scene, if they go far, something special. So I look forward to having an influence on that and like helping generate a good music community, because I think a good musical community just makes the community happier overall.
Yeah.
People participate in festivals and stuff, and we know each other, and it's just a really fun thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I want to contribute to as a teacher. I remember a moment, although I don't remember the context of what it was we were talking about, where I've been working with a much younger student for like several weeks on a certain rhythm concept. And it just seemed like week after week it was not improving at all. And I was trying to think of different methods and stuff, and but I really think it's because it was just she had learned so much already that the next step was just really difficult. So that was like a kind of a step up for her. And then one week she just came in after I tried all these different methods, and she just like explained it so well. And I was like, wow. I was like, how'd you come to that? And then she talked about just kind of working on the stuff I gave her and thinking about it and playing it more. And it was just cool because I knew that in between the last lesson and this lesson that like learning had happened, and that there was some kind of new knowledge that I think often has to come at kind of your own time as a student. Like it's not always in the 45-minute lesson that you like absorb all the information. It's like practicing is important and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was just a nice experience because I felt that like there was an avenue through this really difficult material, and that it just clicked. I think that the most important factor in the student's success is probably single-handedly their desire to play the instrument. But I think that you have an influence on that desire, how much they play, how much they want to play the instrument. I don't think it's just like either they want to or they don't. There are some students though that it really captivates them, and that's going to drive them, even with bad teachers, it's going to drive them to their next teacher and to the next teacher, because they want to play and they're going to be really successful.
And they need to find that right situation.
Yeah, but it's important for teachers to recognize kids that don't start with an interest, but could have that interest, and it's also a responsibility for teachers to give the students that interest or present the material in a way to get them hooked so that they can be successful. Because music, like I said, goes beyond the 45-minute lesson, and if they don't have that drive, if they don't have their own momentum, then it's not going to carry them. But we can give them that momentum. So junior year, I joined this band, which I mentioned earlier, called Aliens on the Wall, and it was a rock band, and it was all really young kids, but we played some pretty killer music. And when I first joined, like immediately we had a gig to play at the Stanhope House, which is like a really classic, pretty well known,
pretty big venue for this area.
Place around here. And this was my first time performing with a small enough group where it was just 4 of us, and I felt like it was higher stakes. It was a nice venue, and I was pretty nervous about it. And on our first song, we had a good turnout. There were a lot of people there. It was a catastrophe, but because I have a really loose grip when I play drums, and that lends itself to like throwing drumsticks occasionally. So I always have a cup of extra drumsticks on the side. So when we were playing at the Stanhope House on the first song, I'm playing and I threw like 2 sticks, but at this point I'm pretty good at recovering, so I have my extra sticks on the side. And then at the end of the first song, my snare drum, which has served me well for 7 years, I just go straight through the drum head. I just punched right through it. And I had no idea what to do. It was like so much newness all at once. Like I'm in this new venue, there's all these people, and I just have a hole in my snare drum. And we had to stop the show for some time and get a replacement, and it was a little bit of chaos. But the moral of this story that I think translates to teaching wise is that like it was a catastrophe, but it was still a really awesome show, and like no one had negative comments about it. If anything, it was like really funny and it was really enjoyable. And once we got a new snare drum to play from someone in the audience, like it was just as good as it was before. So I have it like a standard for my students where I'm like, look, I've played and my drum set has fallen apart. I've ripped holes in my drums, and it was still a fun, good performance. So
that's totally rock and roll.
Yeah, that's how it is.
You can break your snare drum and it's because you're really playing.
Yeah.